As a firm, we pride ourselves in giving back, and so we encourage our staff not only to give, but to make sure that they do it in a way that is impactful and that has lasting change. We incorporated a committee about 7 years ago. That's the ALN CSR Committee, and it focuses on 5 main pillars, and these are children, education, the elderly, environment, and health. In order to impact these 5 areas, we have 3 ways in which we offer our assistance. One is through donations, and the firm has year on year set aside an amount of money which it has given to the committee to use for the impact activities that it is doing. And year on year, the firm has increased this budget, and we are grateful to the partnership for that. Secondly, we ask our staff to donate funds through funds drives. We raise monies for certain events. And then lastly, our clients and friends, when they see the work that we have done, often they come up to us and ask whether they can also contribute, and so they give us their monies as part of the donations. The second way that we have an impact is through physical visits. And so we don't like to just send money. We like to visit the initiatives and to make sure we give of our time. So over time, we have painted children's homes. We've taken children to the national park to plant trees. We've visited elderly people both in Nairobi and Mombasa, so as to make sure that not only do they have our money, but they also have our time. The last way that we do it is through partnering with other charitable events and taking part in their initiatives. So we go for walks, we do runs that are organized by other events, and then make sure that in that way we can raise money for the social impact events. So this year, COVID happened. So we had to ramp up our efforts as a CSR committee, and we decided it will not be business as usual. And so we created an NKCovered Response initiative. And through this initiative, all through each quarter, we have visited various communities to provide support to the very vulnerable within our society. And so we've managed to help more than 1,500 families with food, medical supplies, toiletries, and even stationery for the children. Each year, we have an ALN anchor event, both in our Mombasa office and our Nairobi office. Our Nairobi office decided for the first time to go out of Nairobi County and visited Baringo, where Lake Baringo, if you know, recently burst its banks. And as a result, there was a local community that was displaced. And they had their houses, their schools, even their administration centers submerged in water. And so we visited with them, and we helped 150 families with food and other supplies. We also built toilets and shower facilities for them because they had none. And we helped the children, particularly the Form 4s and the Standard 8s who are preparing for their exams. We're particularly proud of our Mombasa office because instead of doing one anchor event, they actually did 5 and visited various communities and helped them with supplies. On top of that, they visited the local ocean conservatory, which basically conserves turtles. So it works with local fishermen who, if they accidentally catch turtle, are actually given an incentive to release the turtle back into the ocean.
Leading the CSR committee is no mean feat, particularly where you happen to be the youngest member of the team. However, with support from the members of the CSR committee as well as our patron, I've been able to have the best 2 years of my tenure at the firm and also with the committee. Being involved with the CSR committee has increased my empathy and attitude towards the less fortunate in the society, who unfortunately are always left out. Additionally, it has helped me to become more open-minded and resilient. I'm proud that the CSR committee has, in the past year, been able to reach more and more people, particularly those who have been affected by the pandemic. I would like to thank the firm for supporting us and leading by example by providing us with an annual CSR budget, which enables us to reach out to more people in the society who are deserving of support. And I would also like to thank members of the CSR committee, as well as members of staff, who day in and day out have provided us with support, both monetary and in kind. And through this cumulative support, we've been able to reach over 1,500 people in the course of this year. And I am certain that next year, we'll be able to reach more people.
At Anjarwalla Khanna, we are particularly concerned with the future of the next generation. And in this country, we do have challenges with protecting and caring for children. And so, as a CSR committee, we also focus on initiatives that protect and educate children.
Destiny Shapers is a community-based organization situated in Korogosho. It is in Roraka, Nairobi County. It is registered with the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Services. Our vision is to reach out to the orphans and vulnerable children in Korogosho slums who've reached the age of going to school, that is 4 years, and they have not attended any of the school. We reach out to the vulnerable children through different ways. One is basic education, where we have a center in Korogosho. We have 8 trained teachers who are also from the community, and they work as volunteers. We currently are following the Kenyan curriculum, that is the competence-based, and we have 201 children from PP1 to grade 5. However, 30 of our children are not in our center because it was too small to accommodate all of them. So we distributed them to our neighboring schools, the class 5. So currently, we only have 171 pupils distributed from PP1 to grade 4. That is from age 4 years to 11, and we have 95 boys and 76 girls. The second program is feeding program, and this is like our backbone, because not every home can afford a meal per day. And if they do, it's only 1 meal per day. So in Destiny Shapers, we offer breakfast and we also have lunch. We also have a certain group of children where we give them food before they go home. But this one, it depends on the needs, but not just like every other person that is getting food in the evening. And through the feeding program, we've ensured 0 to 1% absenteeism, leading to better performance in academics. We also have other programs, that is parental empowerment, where we have parents meetings. We have holiday camps where we take children out. We have skills training for the children. We have library services for the children. And also we have mentorship for both parents and the pupils. Feeding program has been the major challenge in Destiny Shapers, because getting donors to feed 171 children was very tough, and people are not willing even to give because our feeding program is not sustainable. In 2019, we were privileged to partner with Anjarwalla Khanna, who've been very helpful to Destiny Shapers. They brought food for 3 consecutive terms. And with them bringing food, it was easier for us to do other programs. And this led to better performance in academics and health-wise to the children. This year, 2020, they brought food during the first time, just before COVID came. After they brought, COVID came in, we were supposed to close the school, and we just left. Then we realized most of the parents and guardians started calling. They had nowhere to go, mostly because majority of them were rendered jobless. They had nowhere to go. They had no food to give their children. So what happened, we went back to the center. The food that Anjarwalla Khanna had brought to feed the children, we supplied all the food to the community. And that was very helpful because most of the children had gone back to the street, and others were being used to transport drugs in the slum. So with that food, at least we were able to maintain the children with their families. Again, they also gave packages and fed 190 parents. And this time they did it so well because they also considered our staff members who are at home doing nothing. So at least they got a package that lasted for three weeks on average. That was so good. Through Anjarwalla Khanna partnering with us on feeding program, we were able now to concentrate on other things. We did fundraising for books because we also needed textbooks for the whole school. And also we were able to mobilize even the other friends and colleagues to even donate clothes. In that year, we managed to do the roofing, and also we did ventilation and the floor. and we went to Karura Forest, where we went to do tree planting as they learned about environmental conservation. This was awesome because majority of the children were just so overwhelmed and they didn't want even to go home. We are so grateful to Anjarwalla Khanna. Because of their partnership, we were able to do other things that brought transformation to the parents, to the children, and also to the community at large. So on behalf of Destiny family, we say thank you and may God bless you.
This committee was set up as a commitment made by the partnership to making the lives of Kenyans better in a meaningful way that can be measured and that is impactful. We realized very early on that we couldn't take up every single pro bono request, and we decided that it was important that we were strategic and selective in the pro bono work that we do.
The firm's pro bono mandate focuses on key pillars such as assisting charities, matters to do with the rule of law, and fighting flagrant injustices. Since its inception in 2016, the firm's pro bono department has been involved in several pro bono projects and has made a mark in assisting several charities and NGOs in uplifting the plight of vulnerable people in society in all spheres of life.
The point of the committee is that we have committed people across the firm who are dedicated and who are able to vet projects and ensure that we match our unique skill set to the requests that are made of us. We are also ensuring that we monitor the progress of the matters we take on and that the same quality and standards and supervision are applied to those matters as we do to our own billable work. We also encourage all our associates to spend a certain number of hours every year on pro bono work, and they are rewarded for this in their annual appraisals. As I mentioned, at ANK, we are selective about the pro bono work that we do. We have decided to focus on 5 strategic areas. The first is improving governance and democracy. The second is assisting charities who do work in Africa. The third is anything that promotes the rule of law. The fourth is in leveraging our unique position as a full-service law firm with a network across Africa. And the fifth is dealing with cases of flagrant injustice. We believe that these 5 criteria allow us to be strategic and to measure the impact we have over a number of years and ensure that our limited resources are correctly and appropriately used.
One of the matters that is close to my heart is the injustices that were occasioned on the Kuji family, who were violently evicted from their family home in December 2016. In a matter of minutes, their residence of 40 years was flattened and reduced to a pile of rubble. The Kuji family's application for renewal of their government lease had been in process for several years. It appears that someone took advantage of this situation to initiate a parallel process of issuance of title over their property to fraudsters. On the strength of this title acquired through fraud, the fraudsters mobilized a gang of thugs who on a Sunday night and at the pain of death evicted the Kuji family and demolished their home in a matter of minutes. The Kuji family sought redress in 2016 through the courts, and the case is currently pending determination before the Environment and Land Court at Nairobi. Working on this case affirms the firm's commitment to support matters relating to access to justice and the rule of law.
One of the projects very close to our hearts at Anjarwalla Khanna is FlipFloppy. We live in a beautiful part of the world in East Africa, and we are making every effort to ensure that we can sustain and conserve our environment.
Here at the FlipFloppy, we have one mission in mind: a world without single-use plastic. We built the world's first multicolored dhow made from recycled plastic to showcase alternate use of waste plastic and the viability of a circular economy. And in 2019 made a historic sailing expedition from Kenya to Zanzibar to engage communities, policymakers and businesses in the region and highlight more sustainable solutions to plastic. Right from the start of this journey, Anjarwalla and Khanna have been key partners, offering critical support during the first expedition and sharing our message far and wide, united in our shared vision to promote environmental conservation in East Africa. Anjarwalla and Khanna has and continues to find sustainable solutions to eliminate their reliance on single-use plastic within their own firm. Now, as we enter an ambitious new phase of our project, FlipFloppy is expanding in scope and scale, recognizing that we'll only turn the tide on plastic through legislative change taking place across borders in East Africa. So our proud partnership with Anjarwalla and Khanna takes on an even greater significance as together we aim to establish new East African legislation that will ban the use of single-use plastics in the East African community. The pro bono support from Anjarwalla and Khanna highlights their commitment to the cause as we seek to draft and introduce a bill that will bind all 6 countries in the East African community. This legislation has the potential to have a transformative effect on the plastic pollution crisis in East Africa. If implemented by all member states, the bill will ban the manufacture, sale, and importation of unnecessary single-use plastics clogging the environment that are imposing significant health hazards to our communities. We're extremely proud of our FlipFloppy's long-standing partnership with Anjarwalla and Khanna. We believe this could be the most important step taken in East Africa to resolve this crisis and help East African countries take the lead in the global fight against plastic.
Making a strategic impact requires us to partner with reputable organizations such as Thomson Reuters. One of the projects we're doing with them is called It's a Penalty. This is a project that aims to address the issues of child exploitation, abuse, and trafficking around the world. In Kenya, we are helping them at Anjarwalla and Khanna by conducting a review of our own laws against international best practices. We're going to be identifying gaps and areas where we need to improve. And we think this is an important commitment that we are making to these charities that support vulnerable groups. We mentioned our commitment at Anjarwalla and Khanna to the rule of law and to access to justice. One of the projects that allows us to impact this is called Justice Defenders. This was formerly known as the Africa Prisons Project. We are collaborating in a number of ways with this project. The first is that we provide legal education at Kamiti Prison in Kenya. The second is that we are helping them produce a documentary about their very good work to encourage other people to support them and to fund them. And the third way we are helping Justice Defenders is to restructure their operations so that they are more efficient and use their resources more effectively to produce results.
At Justice Defenders, our vision is to elevate all humans facing injustices to become defenders of the defenseless. We do this by training paralegals and lawyers from within defenseless communities to provide legal services for themselves and others, thus protecting their rights and addressing their wrongs. We run 2 programs, the Legal Education Program, where we offer scholarships to inmates and officers who are our paralegals to study law with the University of London. These graduates and students, in turn, offer legal services in prisons. In our Legal Practice Program, we run legal offices in prisons where we train paralegals to offer legal services to their fellow inmates. In 2020, we have served more than 5,000 clients across 10 prisons. We are grateful for the partnership we have had with the law firm of Anjarwalla and Khanna in the last 2 years. A&K has helped us and facilitated us to document our work, and during this COVID period, they have supported our paralegals and the inmates with masks to ensure that they stay safe. We are currently receiving support from the ALN Pro Bono team to restructure our governance structure to ensure that we are efficient and we are compliant with the law. Thank you for being part of the journey to build Justice Defenders and contribute to a just society. We are forever grateful. Be blessed.